Okay, the reason I started with the first video to tell you about what we would like to solve with this new index page is I want you to know about the problems. I want you to know why I'm doing this so that you can also help me not just following my instructions but also try and give it your best shot on how can we solve these problems that we have with the index page. So in this video I will try to make my suggestion on what I think we could do, but I would be very happy if you overrule me and do something that you think is better. So feel free, if you have some good ideas, to just throw them in now that you know the problems we are trying to solve. In this video I will go through 4 different elements and talk about these things. It's the header, it's this section, and then it's the section that I would like to insert here in this area between these 2 boxes, and then it's this section right here. And with these 4 sections I think I have found some solutions to what we can do to improve the results. And whatever we come up with, we will come up with something that we think looks good and is an improvement, and we will launch that, and then we will go back to the statistics and we will try and run it for a month and see how that works. Hopefully it will work a lot better than what we have right now. And then we will go back and we will do the whole thing one more time, and I will do some user testing again, see what these users are saying, and at one point we will end up getting some very good results. So let's just throw ourselves into it and see what we can come up with. Good. Starting with the header. What I'm thinking about the header is that we're using this section, it takes up a lot of space and the customer are not using it. So let's try and get rid of everything that the customers are not using. So I would like you to move this login field to a different place. The way we could do this is actually to make it a hidden area, so that we just have this button, because this looks very good and you can figure out it's something to do with login. We could put it maybe here, we could put it up here in the corner. When you click on it, it will open up and show some extra space where we then show this information. So whatever you do, I'm going to need 2 states of this mockup. I'm going to need a mockup where we show it as it looks, and then as it would look when you click on this thing. And you can put this anywhere you think looks good, but I'm thinking somewhere here in the top right corner, or maybe even outside of the frame right here. The next thing I would like to say about the header. Well, let's try and look at a competitor. This is a competitor from the US, and let's see what he's doing here. He has something that goes all the way through, and then he has different kind of menus here. I don't know actually if we can use anything from here. If we look here at the page that we have from the old system, here I think I have something that we could use, because we have these pictures right here and we have this kind of oval shape with a thick frame around it, and I think this is actually working out very good. So my suggestion would be to try and implement that, and implement it in the extra space we're going to get in this area. If you can implement 4 ovals, we need one for bands, we need one for solo musicians, we need one for, let me think, DJs of course, and then we need a 4th one, which we are only going to use in some of the countries. Let's just call the 4th one for pianist for now, because the 4th one is actually a local setting that will be used in some countries, and in some countries it will not be used. So in the UK we only divide our artists up in 3 different groups. It's bands, DJs and solo musicians, but in Sweden and Germany we have a fourth group, and for this design I would like to have 4 groups on it. So let's divide it into bands, DJs, musicians, and call the fourth one for pianists. So for every one of these I would like an oval shape, and below it it should say 231 bands, 116 DJs, 200 and something musicians, and 300 and something pianists. And in these ovals I would like you to find a very good stock photo so that it looks good, just like something we have here. As you can see, we have a magician, we have a juggler, we have some food, and we have some a room and something like this. And one idea that I had was we could also try and look at some of these silhouettes. We've been playing with the silhouettes before, and I think it worked out. I never got to implement it, but I think we were onto something with those silhouettes, and maybe we should continue with them right here. So as you can see, there are many different kind of good looking silhouettes that we could use. And we have a pianist here, we have a DJ here actually, and we have a band here. So I think it could look good with a silhouette. Okay, so now we have removed the login field, we have added some pictures here, and I just want to talk a little bit about the header in general. Because as you can see here, the tabs are working very good. I like this orange thing coming up, so that you can see that I'm on this tab, this tab, this tab. And I also like the font. But something is changing here. You can see that now we have a different font, and it's not being orange anymore when I am over it. And we changed the colors from orange down here to orange up here. I don't think that you intended that the font should be changed, but something went wrong in the programming, and now we end up with a font that doesn't look as good, and this header is maybe not working as good as the index header. So if you can come up with a header where we use the same header on the index page as we use on all our sub pages, that means on this page and on all the artist module. I told you before that I don't want to change design on all our pages, but if you can come up with a header that could be used on all of the pages, I wouldn't mind changing that on all pages. I just don't want to change all the designs we made with the orange color, because that's a lot of work. But the header, I don't mind changing that on all pages, especially if you can do one that would work for all pages. And if you cannot do that, then that's okay. Then just leave it like it is, like we have it right here, as you see, with the orange color and these kind of tabs, and this kind of orange field here and the gray field up here. And we will leave it also on the other pages as it is right now. So see whatever you can work out. Let's move on to this section we have right here. This section, we need to make this text a little smaller. We need to make this button some smaller, and then we also had some comments about the energy. I think the way we could solve the energy is if we look on the US version Gig Masters they have here. You can see that they have something moving here. It's a flash element that is moving, and it's giving some kind of energy, and I think we could use some of this. They're also giving different kind of information here, as you can see, and they have some pictures that are changing. Now, since we put in pictures here in the top, I don't think we should put in pictures here as well. But what I think we could do is, if you make the text smaller and move the picture here, the button here to the left, we will create some empty space here. And an idea I have is that you could make a round section here that goes from the outside. It's actually breaking this line here, because you can see everything is very square, and breaking that line will kind of generate some energy in a way. And then my idea is that inside of this rounded box we will have some text that will change from time to time, so that will also give some energy to it. I don't know if this rounded box is a speech bubble of some kind, and if it's a speech bubble, where should it point? I don't know that exactly, but I just see something that is kind of breaking this line. Yeah, so see if you can solve that in a way. And the information we will have inside this bubble is it could be a recommendation, like you see right here. We have a name of a user and the city she lives in, and then she wrote something. This was a great page. It could also be that suddenly we have I don't know if you remember, but at some point you put in some trust pictures here, and we could have these trust pictures inside of the box saying that we were used by we were recommended on some kind of page, we were recommended on the television because that we actually were at some point. So yeah, that's my feedback for this section right here. Okay, so what we have right here, we should just leave that because I think it works, and I also think it works that when you're on the page on a normal screen, the page is kind of ending, and you don't need anything more than that. I might be wrong on that, but for now let's just leave it like that. But inside the between these two boxes, I would like you to insert a new box, exactly like the one we have right here with the same kind of shades. And in that box, I would like you to insert what we have right here. So that means that we have a header, we have some bullet points, and we have this and this this arrow, and then we have a video, because I would like to use that section. If people scroll down, I would like to use that section to explain to them why is it better to make an inquiry by clicking on this button than it is to browse bands and DJs. Because what I noticed in the user test is that many people they look and they say, yes, I know this is, where do I find the bands? Where do I browse the bands? So we might not be able to convert all of them, but I think if we can make a section here between where we can try and convince some of them that it's actually better to make an inquiry and then get offers and then book, then it could be good. So try and insert that between, and also we need of course some space between the sections, between the boxes. And now moving on to this box. In this box I would like to keep the first column just like we have it right now. Then I would like to remove the city column and remove the fest type column and keep the area column and keep the guest column. So take the area column, the guest column, and move it over here, and this will create some free space right here. And in this empty space that we have created right here, and you should probably also take some of the extra space we have here, because we're going to need a little bit more text space here than we are using right now. In these two new columns, the first one should be called status and the second one should be called time. And in status I would like you to put in just blend these different four statuses: new customer inquiry, customer just booked an artist just gave an offer, someone made a comment. So try and blend different ones of these down here in the status column. And in the time column I would like you to put in 4 minutes ago, 1 hour and 11 minutes ago, 3 hours and 1 minute ago, and down in this line right here. And it should, if you can, just try and make it so that the earliest ones were made, they are in top, and then the latest ones are further and further down, and try and blend so that we have some that is 1 hour and 11 minutes and many hours and only 1 minute, because I want to indicate to the programmers that they should remember we should have a possibility to have plural and singular in these words here, and yeah, that's just a programming detail, but I need them to do that. And that's the change I would like to do to this section right here. I will still keep this link we have here and still keep the heading, and everything else should be the same. If you can make the status column, I'm thinking a little bit about adding an icon to each of them, so that if the status is new customer inquiry, it will have a small icon saying new, and maybe even colorful in some way. If it has customer just booked an artist, we will have something indicating a booking. An artist just gave an offer, maybe it's something with money. Someone made a comment. It could be something, yeah, a letter or something. But they shouldn't be, it should be, you should work on the details on these icons, because we don't want to input something that doesn't look good. It could be that they don't have colors, but they're just all, I don't know the name from that, but not colorful, but just very, very simple and subtle. I don't know. Let's see if you can work something out, and if you cannot do the icons, then just make it as text. Looking forward to seeing your suggestions, and please remember, if you have other ideas, then just do them, because I don't have all the answers. I just have some ideas, so try and use my ideas as inspiration.